Back to the marketplace. Tonight we're talking about indigenous foods, indigenous seeds, our heritage as Africans, how we can ensure food security by using what we had. Dr. Njoki, before we went for a very short break, we were looking at how food insecure a lot of Kenyans are.
Yes.
And now we must ask ourselves, how did we get here?
Yeah.
From being proud Africans who made their own food.
Yes.
How did we get here exactly?
Let me give you a short history, because as I said before we went to the break, that if we do not know where we are coming from, we cannot know where we are, and we won't know where we are headed. We'll just be talking about indigenous systems, but there will be no change and there will be no impact.
Right.
So Africa, original name is Alkebulan.
Right.
It is the mother of mankind. When we say it is the mother of mankind, it means it's able to feed, she is able to feed all the mankind.
Right.
But years of colonization, slavery, indoctrination, being looked down as a lesser people, kind of made us start feeling inferior. And it made us feel like our culture is archaic, and it is not something to be proud of. Look at how we adapted the Western names. We had adapted the Western systems, that we just follow the West for anything. And we look to the West for every solution. Right now we are looking to the West for a solution of climate change.
Right.
And we are in the tropics. I mean, we look to the West for any health issues. Remember when we had COVID?
Right.
We didn't even look around to see what we have. And growing up, we had all these herbs that used to treat the chest, tonsils, and COVID was everything to do with the chest and in the lungs.
Right.
So that indoctrination reduced us to kind of beggars.
Right.
Begging for solution, begging for information, that has now culminated to begging for food.
Right.
We have become beggars, and we are very comfortable being fed. And unfortunately, there's an African saying that he who feeds you controls you.
That is true.
And another one says that if you get used to eating from a neighbor's pot, they will feed you dog meat.
Right.
Yes.
That is a very good saying.
But it is our African saying.
Right.
So we have been eating from the West all along. We go to them for medicine. We go to them for every small information. And we fail to understand who we are, the knowledge that we have, the wisdom that is in us. We don't get deep into it.
Right.
And so if you look at our food and our herbs, they are not so much about treating. They are about prevention. So the Africans were preventing any ailment. They were able to prevent any ailment. They knew what to give an expectant mother to protect the baby and to make sure that the baby is born healthy. And they knew how to give the young people who have gone through circumcision, because there is the loss of blood. So how do they replace the blood? The African had that knowledge. They knew how to feed an old man.
Right.
That is why our old men were dying at 100 years with no dementia. Yeah. My grandfather, by the time he was dying of 100 years, he knew everything. His mind was sharp.
Right.
So what we imported started destroying us. So it's a high time we start looking and accepting who we are. Start by accepting our names. Because our names, I like saying, and I even tell my students, our names have a narrative.
Right.
There's no African name that has no meaning. It's a whole narrative. Talk about Njoki, there's a story attached to Njoki, Karaoke, Onyango, Ali. You know, there's a narrative.
Right.
We start by accepting that. Once we accept who we are, we start accepting our nature, our culture, because our food is tied with our culture.
Right. It's a matter of knowing yourself, and an interesting fact that a lot of viewers may not know is that as Somalis, we inherit our father's names.
Yes.
So Hibak is the daughter of Said, Mohammed, Kulmiye, and then we can trace that all the way back to the original ancestor.
Yes.
So everyone knows. So when you are introducing yourself maybe to other people, you say, I'm the daughter of so-so-so from this tribe, and then that's how we have our community, and that's how we help each other. And we were just talking about the Seed and Plant Varieties Act that is coming to effect, that is being actioned, and the various effects that it could have to a lot of Kenyans. Traditionally, a lot of people use